Okay, hi guys. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I have very bad allergies today, so uh, I might be sniffing through the entire video. Anyway, uh, hope everything's going well today. You definitely need your calculator for this entire unit, so please bring your calculator each time you come to a video or a Zoom session. Um, and you're going to need some blank paper because I need to give you some notes before we even start this. Okay, so you need, if you printed out the worksheet already, if you didn't do it two-sided, you can go and just use the back of it, okay? All right, so once you're all settled, come back and here we go. All right, so we're starting unit 13, which is right triangle trig. All right. It's actually trigonometry, but that will be the last time I say it that way. All right, let me just make sure that I'm in. I am. Beautiful. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is this symbol. It's like a circle with a line through it, not a diagonal line for it to be zero or null. All right, it's kind of cursive. And that is theta. We don't see it so much in this course, but you definitely have a trig unit in Algebra 1, so I want to introduce that terminology. All right, the name of the game here is SOHCAHTOA. All right, when you're doing trig, you're going to need that word, and it needs to be spelled that way because this is your clue as to what needs to happen. All right, there are three trig functions that we're going to deal with in this course. Excuse me. All right, the first one is the sine. All right, it said sine. So sine of theta. Now these are just ratios. So this is a trig function. This is the angle measure. All right, so the sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. All right, and that becomes, now, because we're math people, we abbreviate everything, although this isn't much of an abbreviation. So sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. The next trig function that we're going to deal with is the cosine of theta, or whatever angle measure we have there. The cosine ratio is adjacent, right? We've been through this before. This means next to, over hypotenuse. All right, and the way we would write that is the abbreviation would be cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, so we took care of cosine. Let me see if I'm still in there. Yeah, I have enough room to finish this part. So the tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. And the way we would write that is the tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. All right, so there's my SOHCAHTOA. Okay, all right, let me slide this up. And that should be good. I just can go up a little bit higher. All right, so I'm going to show you what this comes down to. All right, if I have a right triangle, and I call it ABC, right angle being at C. All right, if I'm talking about angle A, I'm going to scoop my angle, always a good good idea. All right, this angle in this question is my reference angle. Okay, so if I want to figure out which is opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, I scoop my reference angle and then I travel across the triangle, and that will be my opposite side. All right, I just want to, we've done this before, but in this case, I could, instead of calling this side CB, I could call it side A. You know what, I'll actually write the word side there so we don't get mixed up with adjacent. All right, again, back to my reference angle. That makes AB the hypotenuse. All right, I'm just going to abbreviate that. All right, and the other side that's next to the reference angle is my adjacent. Okay? All right, now let's say I had a triangle that looked like this. And I tell you that this angle is theta. This is my reference angle. All right, I would scoop it. I always like to label my opposite first. Opposite. There's my hypotenuse. And there's my adjacent. Okay. And one more. My right angle is going to be right here. Let's say I tell you theta is here. I scoop my reference angle. I travel across the triangle. There's my opposite. This is my hypotenuse because it's across from the 90-degree angle. And that makes this the adjacent, the side next to the angle. That's not the hypotenuse. Okay? Now, for you to do this, you have to go into your calculator. Let me get it into the screen so you can see. All right, whenever you're doing trig, you need to go to mode. Whoops, you have to turn it on. Go to mode. Right here, yours probably says radian. Go over to the side and go on to degree and hit enter. And you should get the black flashing. Actually, let me do that again. All right, you probably come up like this. Go over to degree and hit enter. Now you are in degree mode. All right, then you're going to quit out of there. So second, quit. Good? Okay, so now we're ready to do the worksheets. All right, make a big note to yourself, degree mode. Okay. All right, so let's start with the first page of this. All right, so whatever we don't do is going to be for homework, okay? All right, so you should all be in degree mode. Now your reference angle, we're going to find the missing side. We're going to find x here. My reference angle is the 27 there, okay? So actually, let's write SOHCAHTOA. Right, so now if I label it, I'm going to go across. There's my opposite. Here's my hypotenuse. And here's my adjacent. All right, so I have opposite and adjacent. Well, here's my O and my A, so I have to use tangent. So I'm going to put tangent of 27 equals the opposite. If you want, you can do opposite over adjacent, but I usually just go to x over 10. All right, now since this is just a ratio, these two are locked together, the trig function and the angle. So I'm going to cross multiply. So put this over 1 if you need to, right? Now, it's always better to do the number in front of the trig function because you won't have to close your parentheses. If you don't close your parentheses, you're going to get an error on your calculator. So 10 tangent 27 locked together equals x. Now I go to my calculator and I put in tangent. It's right here. Everybody see it? So, actually that was what was up on my screen. 10 tangent 27, hit enter, and it's 5.0952, blah, 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 blah. All right, so x equals, and the instructions say to the nearest tenth. So we're going to go with, right, nearest tenth. I want this spot, so I look here. That means it needs to go up one. So x equals 5.1. All right, I have number 3 for homework. Let's go up to 5. Okay, again, scoop your angle. I'm only going to use one letter now. Opposite. This one is adjacent. Now, I think that a lot of you, it would be better if you don't put that third letter there, because now it's hitting you right in the face. If you have SOHCAHTOA, you can see O and A. So again, you have to use tangent. So your equation is tangent 23 locked together equals opposite over adjacent. If you need the 1, put it. Cross multiply, 6 tangent 23 equals 1x, or x. Now go to your calculator. 6 tangent 23 and hit enter. And nearest tenth, it should be x equals 2.5. Okay, how's that going so far? All right, number 7 is for homework. And I want to go, the next one I want to do is number 4. I'm going to actually move this over a little bit. Okay, so number 4, scoop your reference angle. Travel across the triangle. The 8 will be your opposite. The x will be your hypotenuse. So if you consider SOHCAHTOA, you want to use the O and the H, so you're going to choose sine. So your equation is sine of 46 degrees locked together equals opposite over hypotenuse. All right, if we follow the same method, the x will go in the front. So when I cross multiply, I get x sine 46 equals 8. Now, the name of the game is get that x by itself. But sine 46, this is just a ratio, is locked together. So to get the x by itself, I would have to divide by sine 46, all right, because that's locked together. So those guys cancel each other. Over sine 46, so x equals, go to your calculator. I'm going to push up so we can have both of these in the picture. So 8 divided by sine 46. Okay, does everybody see how the parentheses are there? That's how come I put the number in the front. Okay, and hit enter. So my answer should be 11.1. All right, let's try number 8 now. Okay, number 6 is homework. All right, scoop your reference angle. Okay, if I go across the triangle, the unlabeled side is my opposite. The 12 is my hypotenuse, and the x is my adjacent. So I have A and H. So if I consider SOHCAHTOA, the cosine is the A and the H. So cosine 54 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Right? Again, if you need to put that in there, don't forget these are locked together. So I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to get 12 cosine 54 equals x. I'm going to go to my calculator. 12 cosine 54 and hit enter. And that should be 7.1. Okay, go to the next page. All right, we're going to do the entire left-hand column right now. Sorry again. If you want, right at the top of your page. SOHCAHTOA. Okay, I can go down to 13. Scoop your reference angle. Travel across the triangle. There's your opposite. This side right here will be your hypotenuse. O and H, I have to use sine. So sine of 40 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cross multiply. Again, if you need the 1, if you need the box, go ahead and put that. So if you cross multiply, you get 19 sine 40 equals x. Go to your calculator and type that in. So 19 sine 40 and hit enter. All right, looks like 12.2. All right, number 11, scoop, opposite. Here's your hypotenuse across from there, so the other one you want is the adjacent. All right, opposite and adjacent. I look at my tangent, and so tangent, sorry, I have to move that over, 38 equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, this is the tough one. So get your box around your trig function, and if you want, put it over 1, cross multiply. So x tangent 38 equals 20. All right, tangent 38 is just a ratio, so it's locked together. Divide by tangent 38 because we want to get the x by itself. All right, divide by tangent 38. And so 20 divided by tangent 38, and you should get 25.6. So x equals 25.6. All right, let's move to 13. I'm going to slide up and get the rest of it here so I don't have to move again. Looks like I can't do the 2. Here we go. Scoop your reference angle. Travel across the triangle. There's your opposite. Here's your hypotenuse. O and H, reference your SOHCAHTOA. So O and H, you need to use sine. So sine of 16 equals opposite over hypotenuse. These are locked together. I cross multiply. 18 sine 16 equals x. So x equals, calculator, 18 sine 16, and hit enter. Oh, looks like 5.0, 4.96. The 6 pushes the 9 up 1, makes it a 10, so I have to do 5.0. Okay, number 15, scoop your reference angle. travel across the triangle. This is opposite. Your hypotenuse is here on the 34. So O and H, again, we're going to use sine. So sine 22 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Lock together, cross multiply. So 34 sine 22 equals x. Calculator, 34 sine 22, and hit enter, 12.7. So x equals 12.7. And number 17, scoop your reference angle. Okay, that's opposite. This is my hypotenuse. This must then be my adjacent next to it, but not the hypotenuse. So I have A and H. I look at SOHCAHTOA, I have to use cosine. So cosine of 63 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, when that x is in the denominator, that's the one you have to be careful of, okay? So x cosine 63 equals 23. They're locked together, so I divide by cosine 63. Divide by cosine 63. So x equals 23 divided by cosine 63. And hit enter. 50.6. Oops, sorry, 50.7. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, on the next page, we're going to find the angle measure. All right, first let's practice using the calculator. Now, I told you that these are locked together. Now, the deal here is I want to unlock this box. So, to unlock this box, I have to do the inverse tangent. All right, so here's how you're going to do inverse tangent. All right, if you look at the sine, cosine, and tangent buttons, do you see it says sine to the power of -1, cosine to the et cetera, et cetera? All right, so that's the key we're going to use. So we're going to have to use our second key. All right, so in your calculator, you're going to do, because we want to unlock the box here. So second tangent, inverse tangent, 2.0503. I don't have to close it because it will do that for me. So nearest degree on this. So that means that A is 64. Here's how you're going to write that you did the work. You're going to tell me I used the inverse tangent of 2.0503 equals A, because that's what we're going to use to unlock the box. And that's going to be 64 degrees. Okay? All right, on the next one, again, we need to unlock this box. So I have to do inverse tangent of 0.6494, and that will equal y. The measure of angle y, actually, it should be a capital there because that's a vertex. All right, so second tangent, 0.6494, and hit enter. And to the nearest degree, the measure of angle y equals 33 degrees. Okay, now we're going to do this with the cosine function. We need to unlock that box. So we need to do inverse cosine, 0.6820, and that's going to give me V. So on my calculator, I'm going to do second cosine 0.6820 and hit enter. So 47 degrees. So V equals 47 degrees. Okay? All right, now we have to do it from the picture. You're going to do the right-hand side for homework, please. And I have to sniff again. Okay, so I have my reference angle here. So I have to label it. So I'm going to label the 51 as my opposite. The 55 is my hypotenuse. All right, since it's O and H, I need to use the sine function. So sine, I'm going to use theta here because there's no labels on it. So sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, so 55. Now, because we want to unlock the box and get theta to come out, we're going to do inverse sine 51 over 55, and that will give us our theta. So theta equals, now you go to your calculator. Second sine 51 over 55 and hit enter. So to the nearest degree, it's going to be 68 degrees. All right, let's try number 9. Label your triangle in regards to your reference angle. So I have opposite, I have hypotenuse. Again, I need to use sine because it's O and H from SOHCAHTOA. If you needed to, you could write SOHCAHTOA at the top. All right, so sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. All right, we need to unlock the box, so we're going to use inverse sine. So second sine 34 over 55 will give us our theta. Calculator. I'm not going to put it in the picture right now. So second sine 34 over 55 and hit enter. So to the nearest degree, theta equals 38 degrees. Number 11. Opposite. And this one, because this is the hypotenuse, this will be my adjacent. I have an O and an A, so I need to use the TOA. So tangent. So tangent of theta equals opposite 29 over adjacent. That's a really bad 9, sorry. Over adjacent, so 38. We need to unlock the box, so we're going to do second tangent 29 over 38. That will give us our theta. Calculator, second tangent 29 over 38 and hit enter. To the nearest degree, 37 degrees. So theta equals 37 degrees. Number 13. Opposite. This is the hypotenuse, makes that the adjacent. Tangent again, so tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. We need to unlock the box to get the angle measure out. So inverse tangent, 34 over 42 will equal theta. So theta equals, so second tangent, 34 over 42, 38.99, so 39 degrees to the nearest 10th. Okay. I can do it from here. All right, again, if you want to write SOHCAHTOA at the top of your page, please do so. All right, here's your reference angle right over here. So here's my opposite. This is my hypotenuse, leaving the the 8 to be the adjacent. So A and H, that's the ca. So cosine. So cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. We need to unlock the box. Inverse cosine. 8 over 17, calculator. So theta equals second cosine. 8 over 17. So 62 degrees. Number 17. There's my opposite. There's my hypotenuse. That's my adjacent. I have an O and an A, so I have to use TOA. So tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent, 39. Unlock the box. Inverse tangent, 34 over 39. Equals, so second tangent, 34 over 39, and hit enter. So theta equals 41 degrees. Reference angle right here. There's my opposite. Here's my hypotenuse. Here's my adjacent. All right, I have 26 and I have an A and an H. That's going to be cosine. So cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Inverse cosine. Sorry, 26 over 45 equals theta. Calculator. So second cosine, 26 over 45, and hit enter. 54.7, so theta to the nearest tenth is 55 degrees. Okay. Now, #21 has all three sides labeled. So I can do any one of the trig functions. So you pick your favorite. I'll do one of each here because 21, 23, and 25 all have the all three sides labeled, right? And these are Pythagorean triples. Pretty cool, right? This is actually a 3, 4, 5 right here. Not sure what this is. 5, 12, 13? Whatever. Anyway, so let's go back up to 21. Let's start with sine first. So if I want to use sine here, I would travel across the triangle. All right, I need O and H. All right, there's my opposite. There's my hypotenuse. Again, I could use any one of them because I have all the ratios. So if you have a favorite right now, you can use that instead. Or actually do that on your homework. All right, so I said I wanted to use sine. So sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Unlock your box. We need to use inverse sine of 76 over 95. So second sine, 76 over 95. And theta equals nearest tenth, 53 degrees. Okay, well, let's use cosine on this one. So since I'm going to use cosine, I need adjacent over hypotenuse. So if I scoop my reference angle, the hypotenuse is right here, which means that there's my, there's my adjacent. All right, so the sine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Unlock the box. Inverse sine. 33 33 over 55. Calculator, because that will give me my theta. Second sign, 33 over 55, and hit enter. So to the nearest degree, theta equals 37 degrees. Actually, that means that any 3, 4, 5, you're going to have 37 for one of your angles. All right, so now we're up to tangent. There's your reference angle, so scoop your angle. I want to use tangent, so I need to use opposite over adjacent. There's your hypotenuse, so here's your adjacent. Okay, so tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. Unlock the box, so inverse tangent, 39 over 52 will equal theta, so theta equals second tangent, second tangent, 39 over 52, hit enter, so theta 36.86, so 37 degrees. Okay, yeah, I was right, that is a 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you should be able to do your homework from this, and you have 2 days to complete this. It'll be posted on Edmodo. All right, have a good day. If you have any questions, send me a message on Edmodo. Okay, thank you. Bye.